There. Hey there, it's Kathy. Happy Saturday and welcome. Welcome to my stream today. I'm going to check and see if you can hear me, and then we're just going to go right in. We're going to go right into George du Maurier. This very creative guy. Okay, hold on one second. Okay. I can hear myself. Cool. So how are you today, my art fam? You guys good? Everybody happy? Everybody Thanksgivinged out? Everybody ready for December? Ready for holiday craziness? Okay, what did you get for yourself? What did you do to get for yourself for a present? Because, you know, I kind of do that. I have to say, you know, this is the time of year where not like something that I don't need. It's always something that like, because I'm just not into like buying stuff just to have stuff, but I did buy myself an extra special treat that may or may not come into play with December's art along that I have planned, that I am planning for my streams in December. But all right, I'll spill the beans. I bought a Dremel and I'm very, very excited to like be carving some wood with my Dremel, to be carving some ornaments. I have designs. I have things that I'm very excited about to create, and I can't wait to do it with you in December. So in December, our bio and draws are gonna close up shop for a little while and will be replaced with an ornament art along, or create along, or craft along, or whatever you would like to think about it. That's what it's gonna be. So, and later in today's, just listening to, seeing, just checking the chat, and I heard myself. Oops, sorry. Yeah, and later on when we get to the draw part of this, of our live today, I'm gonna show you a little pile of materials that I am going to be using. I'm going to be using for my ornaments, and just so you have an idea of what I'll be doing. And I'm going to have a prompt list up tomorrow for December art along and ornament along, I should probably say. What should I call it? Tell me out. What do you think? Yeah, so I'm super excited about it. I'm very, very excited about it. I'm very excited to just have like an art explosion in this room and in my life for December. And I can't wait to take you along with me. We can do it together. We can have just like an art explosion together. So how's that sound? So today's coffee corner, this is like mishmash coffee when I don't have coffee. I didn't have any more of my coffee that I had been drinking. So sometimes I'll like take some beans that I have. I forget whatever. Maybe I got them from Trader Joe's. Maybe I got them from, you know, maybe I don't even remember where. I think these are Trader Joe's. I'm not sure. I think I'm drinking half calf, which is not ideal, especially right now. But I added a little extra scoop. So it's definitely delicious. It's like half of my the Whole Foods Ethiopian single origin, and then half something that I ground a couple weeks ago and had in a Tupperware in my coffee cabinet. So I don't know, but it's pretty good when it's just mixed in. So I'm happy. It's fine. It's fine. As long as I'm awake in here, and it's fine. Let's see if we can get some eyeballs in here. Excuse the crunchy sounds. Let's get little eyeballs in there. Can we see eyeballs? There's eyeballs. Oh, okay. I should adjust them. I should adjust your eyeballs a little pink fuzz. Okay, there we go. All right, let's do this. George du Maurier. Yeah. He's going to be a big surprise to me too. I did because I haven't like done research on him, you know. So I've been kind of like flying by the seat of my pants for the past few days. I'm going to be totally honest, like probably to a fault, but I'm very sleep deprived. I'm not as sleep deprived like I can't get out of bed sleep deprived. But I'm sleep deprived enough that I think I need to get more sleep. I need to plan more sleep into my life. So I did not, and I also thought, hey, you know, that's cool. I'll do the fly by the seat of my pants thing today, and that's cool. I mean, I did obviously prepare because we have a slideshow. I have some good websites up that we're going to look at later. I'm just trying to find my Wikipedia page. Hold on one second. Oh, there it is. I'm like, where's my Wikipedia page? So we can read. I was just filling the air for a second there. Hold on. George du Maurier. Let's do this. George du Maurier. From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. And if you use Wikipedia, this is a little PSA because I love Wikipedia and I feel like, especially now, where AI is everywhere and stealing all of our art for this big, scary, like, machine thing that I want no part of. And it's infiltrating our life in every different way. And everything is subscription. Like, Wikipedia is probably the most balanced information source on the web and is free. And if we can all donate like $1 a month, you know, then they would be much better off. Because if Wikipedia goes away, or like whatever you can afford, I mean, maybe you can't afford $1 a month. Maybe like some months I can't afford it, you know, like some months I'm like, okay, I got to take off my auto, you know, pay to Wikipedia because I like to donate auto. But, you know, I turn it on and off because sometimes it's like, you know, you forget about the subscriptions that you have and then you're doing an audit on yourself and you're like, really? I need to like just have a cleanse, you know, and like stop it with the subscriptions, right? But Wikipedia, I mean, especially now because I'm using it every single day, you know, and then more, you know, I use it all the time. So Wikipedia is great. When I do these reads, I do, you know, criticize Wikipedia sometimes. Like, oh, it's not this or it's not that. It's not cozy reading. It's not a story. It's like not, it doesn't get granular into like their personal life a lot. Sometimes it does, but it doesn't always do that. It doesn't always give you like the emotional captivation, is that a word, that you want when you're learning about a person's life. But what it gives you is like as much objectivity as you're going to get on the web, which, thank you, Wikipedia, because there's other places to go for the other kind of content. That's why I like to try and mix it up a little bit. Read the Wikipedia and then try and find other things. Sometimes it takes more work, yes, a little more research, but, you know, Wikipedia is so dependable. Oh my gosh, I gotta get off my Wikipedia soapbox. I'm just like Wikipediaing out. I love Wikipedia. What can I say? And I love a free resource that is as objective as possible and as unbiased as possible that you can find on the internet in this day and age when everything is taking over and subscriptions are taking over and, you know, artificial, fake intelligence, fake art, fake everything is taking over. Let's nip that in the bud and like support Wikipedia. That's what I say. Anyway, so yes, big Wikipedia Big Wikipedia commercial right here. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, I wore my hat that I got in Ireland at the Glendalough Cemetery. Remember the other day, the picture with the cemetery on it? I showed you pictures from my Ireland trip a few years ago. And this is the hat I bought. I wanted to show you. It's very Thanksgiving-y, isn't it? And I know it's past Thanksgiving now, but you know what? I'm into it. I'm into this. Because, you know, we're in the holidays times now. And let's go. All right. I'm going to stop rambling now, I promise. Let's go. George Louis Palmella Buisson du Maurier. March 6th, 1834. He was born. He died 8 October 1896, 34. Okay, this is my counting mechanism. my fingers. 44, 54, 64, 74, 84, 94. He died at 62. Oh my gosh, that's so young. Oh my god. Okay, let's go. He was a French-British cartoonist, illustrator, and novelist. He was known for his work in Punch, and we'll look at that in 1 second, and his 1894 Gothic novel Trilby, featuring the character Svengali. I think he created Svengali? Did he? Wait. There was another artist that we did, I think it was last month, who had something to do with the proliferation of the use of the name Svengali, or the something to do with Svengali, and I don't know what it is right now. So maybe he created the... Did he create the actual character? Okay, Svengali is a character in the novel Trilby, which was first published in 1894 by George du Maurier. Svengali is a Jewish man who seduces, dominates, and exploits Trilby, a young orphan girl working in Paris, and makes her into a famous singer. All right. Okay, cool. So we have a missing link with the word Svengali, because I know that there was something about the name Svengali, and like it's becoming more popular, or using it as a type of character trait or something, with one of the people that we bioed like in the past couple months, and I don't remember right now what it is, but that's okay. I'll remember in 6 months. Okay, we know what a cartoonist is. Let's look at what Punch is, so we just have a fuller picture before we start getting into this. Punch, or the London Charivari, was a British weekly magazine of humor and satire established in 1841 by Henry Mayhew and wood engraver Ebenezer Landels. So this is also something that we touched on at some point in the past 2 months, I think a couple of times with our publishers. We had Leslie, and then we had somebody else too. There was a couple of them, but yeah. So it was a weekly magazine, and these weekly magazines would have staff cartoonists or staff artists to do like editorial style cartoon illustrations for them. So that was what he did, among other things. His son was actor. Okay, this is interesting. His son was was the actor Sir Gerald du Maurier. So he had a son who was an actor. The writers, Angela du Maurier and Daphne du Maurier. Rebecca, anyone? Daphne du Maurier was an English novelist, biographer, and playwright. She's known for the classic novel Rebecca, the classic Gothic novel Rebecca. Isn't that fun? I love these like connections. Let's see Angela du Maurier. His granddaughter. She was an English actress and novelist. I am not familiar with her, but she's got a lovely photo right there. Okay. So those were his granddaughters. He was also father of Sylvia Llewellyn Davies and grandfather of the 5 boys who inspired Peter Pan. Wow, this is so wild. Okay, hold on. Sylvia Llewellyn Davies was the mother of the boys who were the inspiration for the stories of Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. She was the daughter of cartoonist and writer George du Maurier and his wife Emma Whitewick. The the elder sister to actor Gerald du Maurier, blah, 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 the aunts of, and then blah, 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 blah. And then the 5 boys. The Davies boys were the inspiration for the stories of Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. That's so cool. What a cool, like... I love this weird connections like this. Like, really? Okay, cool. Well, all right. That's very noteworthy. And J.M. Barrie is a Scottish novelist and playwright, best remembered as the creator of Peter Pan. He was born and educated in Scotland, okay, where he wrote several, and then moved to London, where he wrote several successful novels and plays. Okay, good. All right, early life. George du Maurier was born in Paris, France, the son of Louis Mathurin Busson, sorry about that, du Maurier, and wife Ellen Clark, daughter of the Regency courtesan Mary Ann Clark. He was brought up to believe this is very fascinating. Hold on one second. I got to move my screen over a little bit so I can make sure that you guys are in the frame. I don't want to lose. I don't want to Wikipedia to fall out of frame here. Okay. Okay, this is kind of fascinating. He was brought up to believe his aristocratic grandparents had fled from France during the Revolution, leaving vast estates behind, to live in England as émigrés. An émigré is an immigrant who may or may not have, but often has forsaken their country. I looked it up before we came on. Here, I'll show you. Émigré, self-exile, political, with a connotation of political or social exile or self-exile. So that's what an émigré is. In fact, here's the facts. Thank you, Wikipedia. Du Maurier's grandfather, Robert Mathurin Busson, was a tradesman who left Paris, France in 1789 to avoid charges of fraud and later changed the family name to the grander sounding Du Maurier. Fake, fake, fake. Everything's fake. So he is a guy who is like, let me reinvent myself and let me take advantage of the time I'm in to reinvent myself. And I think a lot of people did this back then, right? There's no, I'm sure there was some sort of paper trails that you could just cover right up because it's not the internet times, I feel like it's harder now. I'm sure they had their own challenges with when they wanted to like fake out and like, change their identity. Like, hey, let me be somebody else. Let me go have another life someplace else and just, close this one up for now, And I think it was probably easier then than it would be today, But Du Maurier studied art in Paris, France. I'm going to zoom up here. In the studio of Charles Glier. Let's see. Who's Charles Glier? Mark Mabel Charles Glier was a Swiss artist who was a resident in France from an early age. He took over the studio of Paul Delaroche in 1843 and taught a number of younger artists who became prominent. All right. Henry Lionel Briot, Jean-Léon Jerome, George Du Maurier, ... Okay, cool. And then he moved to Antwerp, Belgium, where he lost the vision in his left eye. And one thing that I'm bummed about that is that they don't tell you what happened. Of course, things happened back then. People were just more vulnerable to illnesses and stuff. And if they had an accident, it was probably easier to have, injuries and stuff that were lasting because they just didn't have the care that they have now. So he was reportedly studying chemistry at University College in London in 1851. He is recorded in the 1861 England census as a lodger at 85 Newman Street in Marylebone. Oh, that is a cool... Oh, yeah. There's a cartoon. Okay. Oh, I wish I put this in the screen. I'm going to show it to you. It's very funny. Here's an example of a cartoon that he did for... Hold on. I'm going to zoom it out for you. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Reset. I want you to be able to see the whole thing. Hold on. Oh, I guess that's as big as it gets. Okay. I mean, that's as little as I can make it. There's a cartoon from Punch. So it's this guy in his bathing suit just like showing off himself, right? And everybody's looking at him. And he's very confident. Okay, I think that's what this is saying. I'm going to read it to you. Study at a quiet French watering place. Now then, Moisseau, your form is of the manliest beauty, and you are altogether a most attractive object. But you have stood there long enough, so jump in and have done with it. So it's just kind of a little bit of a funny, facetious type of a, if I'm using that word right. Sometimes I wonder. Sometimes I feel like I need to Google words to make sure I'm using them right, but just kind of a funny little joke about his level of confidence, and he thinks everybody's staring at him because he's so fabulous looking, and they're actually like, dude, what are you doing up there? You know, they're looking at him as a curiosity. So pretty cute, pretty cute. I like it. And there's a picture of him. Oh, look, there's his grave. Beautiful graveyard. Look at that. Oh, that's beautiful too. The Legend of Camelot. And there he is again. And there's his former home. These are fun to flip through. Okay, cool. Let's read more. Okay, we're getting there. All right. Where did we leave off? Okay. Du Maurier became, this is the cartoonist area here, section, career. Here we are. Du Maurier became a member of staff at the British satirical magazine Punch in 1865, drawing 2 cartoons a week. His commonest targets were the affected manners of the Victorian society, the bourgeoisie, and members of Britain's growing middle class in particular. His most enduring cartoon, True Humility, 1895, popularized the expressions quote-unquote good in parts and quote-unquote a curate's egg. A curate, like C-U-R-A-T-E apostrophe S. A curate's egg is something described as partly bad and partly good. In its original usage, it referred to something that is obviously and entirely bad, but is described out of politeness as nonetheless having good features that redeem it. Okay. I think we have a good picture of what a curate's egg mean. I think it means like how you look at something. Well, let's click in for a second to this. I'm going to finish reading it. Okay. But is described out of politeness as nonetheless having good features that redeem it. This meaning has been largely supplanted by the less ironic modern usage, which refers to something that is in fact an indeterminate mix of good and bad, possibly with a preponderance of bad qualities. But they're trying to like put lipstick on a pig, that type of thing. That's what I think. That's my read from what I just read. So, all right. Curate's egg. In it, let's go back. His most enduring cartoon, True Humility, popularized the expressions good in parts and a curate's egg. In it, a bishop addresses a humble curate. And what is a curate? A person who is invested with the care or cure of souls in a parish. Okay, like clergy? Okay, I'm going to start reading that again. In it, a bishop addresses a humble curate, who is basically a clergy member, whom he has invited to breakfast. I'm afraid you've got a bad egg, Mr. Jones. The curate replies, Oh no, my lord, I assure you, parts of it are excellent. The gag was not original to Du Maurier, however, as it had appeared in a similar cartoon a few months earlier in Judy, a less widely read competitor to Punch. Was that a comma? No. In an earlier 1884 cartoon, Du Maurier coined the expression bedside manner, which he satirized medical care. And what do we see? We have, okay, there's no little picture thing. Bedside manner, we all know what that is, right? It's how, socially good a doctor is with or like a medical professional is with talking to you when you're their patient. Another of his notable cartoons depicted a fanciful videophone conversation in 1879 using a device he called Edison's telephonoscope. Let's see, telephonoscope. A telephonoscope was an early concept of videophone and television, conceptualized in the late 1870s. Can you imagine being alive back then and like learning about this stuff? Like, whoa. Right? It's like VHS, it's like TV, it's like internet. It was an early concept of videophone and television conceptualized in the late 1870s through the 1890s. It was mentioned in various early science fiction works such as Living Team, Seek, lost it. La Vie Electrique, and other works written by Albert Robida. Okay, that's fascinating, and it's also the first time I've ever heard that term before, so cool. I love to learn something new. While producing black and white drawings for Punch, Du Maurier created illustrations for several other popular periodicals. Harper's, The Graphic, The Illustrated Times, which we all know is Leslie, right? Leslie's Illustrated Times, the Cornhill Magazine, and the religious periodical Good Words, which was a religious periodical of the times. I love to see the design that they had for these magazines in the times back then. Anyway, I just got a book. Okay, speaking of little treats that you buy yourself, I really wanted to see advertisements of the late 1800s and early 1900s of the turn of the century, because I'm really enjoying looking at all these ads, right? And I just feel like there's just not enough. I'm just not seeing enough, and I want to have a book. I love to have like a good reference book. So I found one on eBay and I bought it. So hopefully I'll be getting it soon, and maybe I can make a video or something to show you it when I get it. So that'll be fun. I'm excited to get it. I'm just so inspired, you know, by this stuff. And like, who knew? Who knew that would happen? I had no idea that I would be so into this. I really had no idea. Interesting curveball, right? Okay. Where are we? While producing black and white drawings for Punch. Okay, we did all that. Okay. Furthermore, he did illustrations for the 1862 to 63 serialization of Charles Warren Adams' The Notting Hill Mystery, which is often seen as the first detective story of novel length to have appeared in English. Among several other novels he illustrated was Misunderstood by Florence Montgomery in 1873. Okay, and that Charles Warren Adams is not the Addams Family guy, because I clicked into that earlier just to double check, because that would have been a fun and interesting connection to learn about. But it's not him. As far as Wikipedia, it's not him. Okay, writer. His deteriorating eyesight. I'm so sorry, Du Maurier. I'm so sorry about your deteriorated eyesight. Caused Du Maurier to reduce his involvement with Punch in 1891 and settle in Hampstead, where he wrote 3 novels. Okay, let's just run back. Let's run back to the beginning. He was born in 1834. 91. So he was 60. 1891. He was like in his late 50s. Right? No, wait a minute. He was 1891, yes, and settle in Hampstead. So if he died in 1896, he reduced his involvement with Punch in 1891. So he died at 62. So I think he was like 56 when he reduced his involvement with Punch magazine and settled in Hampstead, where he wrote 3 novels. His first, Peter Ibbetson, 1891, was a modest success at the time and later adapted as an 1817 play, a 1931 opera, and a 1935 film. His second novel, Trilby, published in 1894, fitted into the Gothic horror genre that we love that was undergoing a revival. Hugely popular, it tells of a poor artist model, Trilby O'Farrell, transformed into a diva under the spell of an evil musical genius, Svengali. Soap, songs, dances, toothpaste, and even the city of Trilby, Florida were named after her, as was the variety of a soft felt hat with an indented crown worn in the London stage dramatization of the novel. The plot, we'll take a look at these later on Gutenberg. I have them all queued up. The plot inspired Gaston Leroux's 1910 novel Phantom of the Opera. Oh! And innumerable works derived from it. Okay, this is the kind of stuff I love, the spider webs. Du Maurier eventually came to dislike the persistent attention the novel was given. Why? Why? Are you not proud of your work? I think it's okay, you know? Most of these people that we now look at as like, oh gosh, they're a genius. Or a lot of them. Like a genius writer, a genius artist, have like, oftentimes it's like they're known for like one thing or more than one, like maybe two things or something like that. They're not always known for everything that they've done. You know what I mean? I mean, sometimes they're known for a lot of things, but not nearly all that they have actually produced. You know what I mean? So cut yourself some slack. I understand what it's like to be like hard on yourself and a perfectionist at times. I get it, George. Okay, personal life. Let's go in here. Oh, wait. Did we finish this? I don't think we did. The third novel was a long, largely autobiographical work entitled, sorry, I'll read that again. I think I'm tripping over my tongue here and like stretching my neck out to look up, which is like, let's do that maybe a little better. Okay. The third novel was a long, largely autobiographical work entitled The Martian, published posthumously in 1898. We're going to turn our little baby's head. Okay, there we go. Little fuzzy. There we go. Okay. 1898. Published posthumously. He died in 1896. So, it was published posthumously in 1898. It's not the movie with Matt Damon. I looked into it. Personal life. Du Maurier met Emma Whitewick in 1853. And he was 19. He was 19. And married her a decade later. He married her at 29. On January 3, 1863 at St. Marylebone, Westminster. Moving frequently over the course of their marriage, the couple settled first in Hampstead in 1869. Initially at Gangmore near the Whitestone Pond for 3 years before moving to 27 Church Row and later at New Grove House in Hampstead Grove in 1881. So if he got married a decade after he met his wife and then they settled 3 years later, they were moving around quite a bit. I think people just did that a lot of the times. You know, it seems like a lot of these artists and creative folks did bounce around quite a bit. In 1891, the family is recorded as residing at 2 Porchester Road in Paddington. They had 5 children. Beatrix, known as Trixie, Guy, Sylvia, Mary Louise, known as May, and Gerald. Let's look at Gerald a bit. Sir Gerald Hubert and Edward Buisson du Maurier was an English actor and manager. He was the son of author George du Maurier and his wife Emma Whitewick, and the brother of Sylvia Llewellyn Davies. Okay, so let's look at Sylvia. Oh, we've seen her face before. She was the mother of the boys who were the inspiration for Peter Pan. So his daughter had her children were the Peter Pan inspiration. And Guy, one of his sons, was an English army officer and playwright. Okay. So like very creatively, which is what noise just came out of my mouth there? That was weird. Very creatively unique variety of creative people in the family. Death and legacy. Du Maurier died, here we are right here. Du Maurier died on 8 October 1896 and was buried at St. John at Hampstead Churchyard in Hampstead. The success of his writings and illustrations allowed Du Maurier to leave a then staggering amount of £47,555 in his will. Okay. That's gotta be a lot. Okay, let's do a little. I'm gonna take a total stab and say that that's like $500,000, but I'm just gonna guess. Let's go. I'm gonna just do pound. Wait. Pound to USD. Bear with me. Value of 1896 British pounds today. Let's see. Okay, calculate. Value. Okay. Today it is 8,084,778.33 pounds. Hold on 1 second. Pound to USD cal. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Let's see. Oh, whoa. Okay. Wow. Loaded. 10 million. 713,543.28 in USD. So this guy, for all his complaining of only being known for that one book, was a multimillionaire. Du Maurier was a close friend of Henry James, the novelist. Their relationship was fictionalized in David Lodge's Author 2004. 2004. 2004. The movie. You know that movie, right? If you don't, it came out in 2004, sorry. Okay. All right. We've looked at some pictures in this as we talked here. And let's go to, I want to show you, because I am a little bit of obsessive about how things design illustration intersection. Okay, let's look at some of his, I want to look at some of his books on Gutenberg Project, which is a free website to look at books that are in the public domain. And we're going to do it right now. I got a bunch of links here. So this is The Martian, a novel. Okay, beautiful cover. Look at that cover. I love that. All right, there's a picture of him. I just picked out a few of the books that had pictures with them, just to get a more variety sense of his artwork. Okay. These are, narrative, right? He's telling a story. He wrote this story. It's autobiographical. And let's just roll through. So these are clearly not, this is not a PDF that was designed, that is the original design. These are whoever formatted this in Gutenberg Project. This is live text here, and then, or just plain text, like live plain text in a page, and then they popped into pictures, which is nice. So I'm glad that we get to see the pictures too. I mean, I'll take it, I love this one. This is a great picture. So for what I'm drawing today, I thought, yeah, sorry about the scrolling. Let's go to a different book now. We have Trilby. Let's look at Trilby. Let's look at Trilby real quick. This is his best-selling book. This is his moneymaker. Trilby, a novel by George du Maurier, author of Peter Ibbotson, The Martian, social pictorial satire with illustrations by the author. 1899, New York International Book and Publishing Company. All right, cool. Okay, it was Trilby. Is this the lady? Is this the woman who is the namesake of the story? So look at how they laid stuff out, right? It was like quotes is how they titled each chapter. Quotes of the book. Okay, that's a nice picture. I'm in the Old Masters. All right. So we're looking at Trilby by George du Maurier on Gutenberg Project right now. And we're just looking at his illustrations for this book that he wrote. This is an autobiographical book. And I like how he added his illustrations to them. Okay, let's look at another book of his. What else do we have here? Mr. Punch's Railway Book, and then we have partial portraits. Let's see. Oh, partial portraits, there's no pictures on it. Okay, so let's do, I'll put all the links in the profile. I'll put links to that we're looking at here in the description later. I have not filled out the description yet for this video, but I will put Gutenberg, and I'll put Librivox too, if I can find any of his books on Librivox, which is a free audio public domain listening to ebooks. I will put that in there, and I will put Wikipedia and Wikimedia Commons. This is the Railway Book, Mr. Punch's Railway Book. George du Maurier worked as a staff cartoonist, editorial cartoonist for Punch, which was a popular periodical in the mid and late 1890s. So here's some of his cartoons that he did. And I'm not going to read all this, but we just look through. Okay, I'll read this one though. Half-third return to Brixton, please. Half, what's your age? I'm 13 at home, but I'm only 9.5 on railways. Ah, that's cute. She's getting the kid price. Okay. Friend to minor rail official at provincial station. Hello, cocky. I'm reading this in an accent because it's written that way. Hello, cocky. Where have you been all this time? Minor R.O., minor railway official, with dignity, says, oh, I had to go up on duty for the naval review at Spithead. I add, friend, unimpressed. Ah, fine sight, I expect it were. Minor railway official. Well, I can't say terrible accent. Well, I can't say I saw much of it. I were taking the tickets at Vauxhall. Okay, so what he's saying is, I went here, but I didn't get to see any of it because I was too busy working. Who of us can relate to that? Me. Maybe you. If you've ever traveled for work. Okay. An exciting time. Poor Jones is convinced that his worst fears are at least realized, and he is left alone with a dangerous lunatic. It was only little Wobbles running anxiously over the points of his coming speech to the electors of Plumple on Time. Okay. I don't know the context on this, but it looks like this guy is a little bit half in the bag. And the other guy is wearing a top hat, and he's looking at this guy quizzically and a little bit judgy. I don't know what it means, but it'll come to me later when I'm not online. Okay, let's read this one. A Tragedy on the Great Northern. Scene: a third-class carriage. Time: 3 hours before the next station. Dramatis personae, Jones and Robinson. It's the last, and it's a tin sticker. It'll only strike on the box. Okay, so he's trying to light a match. Strike it on the box then, but for heaven's sake, be careful. Yes, but like a fool, I've just pitched the box out of window. Okay, so he threw the box away. Not the best thing to do when you only have one match and you need the box to light it. All right, what's sauce for the goose? And C, which I'm assuming means and company, and they probably assume it to mean it like kind of like in a funny way. Passenger in second class. I think I've got into the wrong carriage. Ticket inspector sternly. The difference must be paid. Passenger triumphantly. Oh, just so. Then I'll trouble you for 3 shillings. I've a first class ticket. That's cute. So he's like, all right, well then can I borrow it from you? These are fun. Okay, a reminder. This one's titled A Reminder. Old lady says, now porter, you're quite sure you've put all my luggage in? The big portmanteau and... Porter. All right, Mum. Old lady. And you're certain I've not left anything behind? Porter. No, Mum, not even a copper. Copper, like C-O-P-P-E-R. I don't know what they mean by that. Is that like she needs a tip? Yeah. He's like, yeah, you didn't leave anything behind, and you didn't leave my tip behind either. So can I have a tip, please? Very cute. I love that. Nice, very nice narrative little cartoon illustration there. I like the viewpoint a lot. That's good. Oh, this will be a fun one. Okay, let's read this one. Notes of travel. 2 gentlemen sitting across from each other on the train. The Cunard Special, full speed for London. John Bull of the world in general. There's nothing to be alarmed at. Surely your American trains go much faster than this. Jonathan from the West in particular. Jonathan, in parentheses, that's who he is. Jonathan from the West in particular. Why, yes. But tain't that. I'm afraid it'll run off your darn little island. Wait, there's nothing to be alarmed at. Surely your American trains go much faster than this. Why, yes, but it's not that. I'm afraid it'll run off your darn little island. Oh, he's like, you're going too fast for like the size of this joint because this place is so small. Very cute. These are really sweet. I like to see what the type of humor was back then and see how much of it aligns with like nowadays. And is it fun? Does it still hold up? Is it like universal? Is it like universal humor? You know, even looking within the context of the time and, you know, like the context of what he's talking about, which is a lot of travel and a lot of like class stuff, right? And like different people's perspectives on different things, right? So that's really cool. This is a really cute book. Okay, when this is all done, I'll do that. I'll put all the links in the description, and we're gonna go into drawing now. So let me pick out what I'm gonna draw. And then we are going to go over to my drawing table and do a homage piece of art in a tribute to George du Maurier's art and sense of humor. And I really like these. These are really cute. I mean, it's not something I would normally draw, obviously, but I think it might be kind of fun to do something like this. Or, I mean, earlier I was thinking I liked the ladies in the long dresses because I like to draw that stuff. This stuff is not as much fun to draw for me, and this is cute to draw. Let's see if this one's funny. The level crossing. All right, we'll read one more. Okay, all right, we'll read one more. The level crossing. I'm gonna do the accent thing too, so sorry if it bothers you. Because it's written like it has an accent, so I gotta act the part, you know? Are there no more trains this evening up on the line, Porter? No, Mum. And no more trains on down the line? No, Mum. Is there no special train? No, Mum. Not an excursion train? No, Mum. The gates are for the rest of the evening. You're quite sure? Yes, Mum. Then come, Amelia. We can cross the line. That means... Hold on. No more trains down the line. I think she's like, we get special treatment no matter what. I think that's what that is. Like, yeah, you're telling me one thing, but I'm not listening to you. I'm going to do what I want, even though you're in charge of the train railway. That's what I think that means. I could sit here and read these all day. I'm not going to do that, though. We're going to draw, and I'm going to show you a little preview of what we're doing for December. I'm excited. Okay. All right. I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm going to put us on the Be Right Back train, okay? Be right back. back. Hey. Oh. Wait a second. There we are. Back. I'm back with toys. I'm back to show you my toys. I'm back for a preview. First, we're going to draw. But I don't want to bury the lead because, you know, I don't want to bury the lead. We're here. We're gonna talk about December as well. I got so many things I want to show you. Hold on a second. Let me get my act together here. All right. Okay. All right. Taking a minute. Cheers. Gotta check the stream. Make sure you guys can see me and hear me. I think you can. But, you know, always gotta check. Because, you know, it's always that one time. It's always that one time. It only takes that one time. It's always that one time. Okay. Cool. Here we are. Cool. Hey. All right. Let's do this. So, December. We're going to draw. But give me a second. I just want to show you this. So, I just made a new coffee. Isn't that pretty? Doesn't that look delightful? I'm going to have a sip. Okay. Yeah. It's okay. Not the best. Not the best I've ever had, but it's pretty good. Pretty good for the second cup of coffee. I still did the steamy thing with my half and half, and I heated it up in the microwave. Which, you know, I don't like to use a microwave, typically. But sometimes it's kind of indispensable. There are times when a microwave is like, great. So I really love making these little ornaments. They're hand painted, they're varnished, and these are based, this series here is based on classic Christmas books and also just classic books, but I have this one that is based on nothing except for Emily Dickinson. Hope is the Thing with Feathers. So, yeah, these are what we're going to be doing. This is the Ornament-along for December, and I'm super excited about it because I can't wait to just make a whole bunch of these. I want to show you, so here's one side, and here's the other side. So, you know, these are double-sided idea. You can do like a little book. You can do a book. You can do a cassette tape. I actually have a video showing how I made cassette tape ornaments for my niece and nephew in this method. And they're just really fun to make. Last year, I made a whole bunch of these, brought them to an art market, sold a whole bunch of them, and I just wanted to make more and more and more. So, and then I started thinking, wait a minute, I could do like cassette tapes. I could do VHS tapes, right? Like, what a fun idea. Or like a DVD, like a, you know, DVD, you know, DVD cover package, whatnot. So, such a cute idea, such a fun idea for ornaments. You could do, you know, an author, classic books, you know, favorite music. And it's just so much fun. So these are what I'm doing for our December Ornament-along, Ornament Art Along, and craft along, whatever along, I'm not sure, but I like the along concept. And then I want to show you the materials that I use, like the raw materials to make these. And excuse me. So let's keep that one there for reference. Okay, here we go. Here we go with the bucket. Here's the bucket. Here's my maker stuff. I'm going to show you some bits and bobs here. So I have the basics, and then I have this extra special fun stuff that I'm probably going to pull out this, excuse me, that I'm probably going to pull out this month. So for starters, I have these, one sec. I have these little maple wood blanks. I buy these from an Etsy seller. And I'll put them in the profile. I'll put them in the description when this live is over. These, I get the 1/4, they're laser cut size. They're 1/4 inch size maple. Did I already say that? I'm sorry if I did. Maple wood, because they offer different types of wood. And they're lovely to paint on. These are so nice. And the reason, just beside the fact that, you know, besides using an independent, oh, here we go, lightning laser cuts. That's where I get these. Lightning laser cuts on Etsy. I'll put the link in the description for you. Aside from, because you want to buy from independents who actually, you know, who actually are doing their work and they're not like a conglomeration, and for all the good reasons to buy from independents. These are also just really good to paint on, because if you ever paint on wood, if you ever have painted on wood and all the different types of wood that you can paint on, and you know, when you buy wood in a store, a lot of the times the surface isn't great. Maybe it's ridgy. Maybe you like that. Maybe you don't. Maybe you have to sand it first. You know, there's all these little... Once you start painting on wood, you realize, like, okay, like, let's get some decent wood so I don't have to spend all my time fighting with this surface, right? So you want to have a nice surface to paint on. These are super smooth and nice. And I really recommend going direct to sellers who are, you know, who are specializing in it, because they, you know, they got their act together. You know, they're not going to send you a bunch of splintery stuff. And some of them will specify, like, do you want it sanded or not? And you can say yes. Or do you want a hole? Because sometimes they'll offer you a hole. You know, like they'll drill a hole for you if you want. I did not want for these, because I really had my eye. I very much had a reason to have these. Like, I knew exactly what I wanted to use them for. So I bought a whole box, a whole bunch of them. And we have, let's make this a little easier to focus. So I like to use maple. There's sometimes they offer different types, and that's fine. Then you also like to get these little things are great. These little screw eyes. I love a little screw eye because you can just screw it right in. You can do it when you're relaxing, when you're watching TV. I'm watching a show right now on Netflix called The Beast in Me, with Claire Danes, and Matthew Rice. I don't know why I'm telling you this, except that it's a good show and I'm enjoying it. But I watched a couple episodes of that last night while I screwed in about 40 of these. So this is how I screw them in, like that, right? So the little screw gets hidden by your ribbon. So it's just like that. They're super cute. And then, so then we have the wood. We have our little screw eye. And then we have ribbon. This is what I have right now. I have to go to the store and get more. I just have pieces right now. I have to go ribbon shopping. That is important to do. Oh, when you're going to put the screw eye in, this is an awl. Basically, it's a pointy, dangerous thing that you can use to like burrow holes and things, or like to make you can use it to make an impression, so you can screw a hole in by hand. And I just do like this. I do like this. So you go like that. You gotta be careful. Make sure you don't hurt yourself or anybody else. And then you just screw it right in there. Like, you get it. It'll happen. You just have to work on it a little bit. Just gotta work it and work it on the angle. Make sure that you screw the angle that you put your hole in. And then you just, and I like to pinch the area. I like to pinch the wood a little bit. So you make sure to, so your wood doesn't split. Because, the wood does want to separate. But, again, this is where having good wood comes in handy, too. Like, you want to get better wood because if you use, like, crafty, if you use really cheap wood, you're going to have problems when you start doing stuff like this to it, which is why the more you work with wood, the more you're going to want to seek out your own sourcing for these things, because here's a bunch of them, because, there's a lot of crappy wood out there. That's all. So you can buy these in a whole package like that from hardware stores, or these are the screw eyes. I always try to get the smallest screw eyes I can, but if you get them really super little tiny ones, they're going to be hard to even manage. So what are these? These are, I'm not sure what size these are, but they're like, here's a 2.5 by 3.5 piece of wood. Here's my screw eyes. I'm not really sure what size these are, but they're not the smallest ones you can get, but they're very small. But they're enough that I can manage them. So, dexterity, all that. So I paint these with acrylic paint, and also I use acrylic paint. I use paint pen, like a nice Posca would work well. I use my Eco line. Use whatever. If you want to join in, I would love it. Use whatever works for you. This is just the stuff that I'm going to be using that you'll probably see. Where's my paint? I have one of those syringe things filled with white. Pretend this is filled with gold and white acrylic mixed with water. That's what I like to use too. You can use a dot maker to make dots with. I use a dot maker for the little tiny dots. And also, if you go to the video, I have a video that makes these. It's pretty recent. I put it out in August, I think. So it's making these ornaments, but as a cassette tape, and all the materials and everything are listed in that description. If you want to look at that, anytime, it's there for you. So here's a few little extra things. So this is the basics. And then to paint them, I'm going to be using acrylic paint, fluid acrylic paint, craft paint. I'll show you some of the types that you will be seeing me use throughout. So we have Blick Fluid Arts Acrylic. We got, I love this one, La France Bourgeois Flash, that beautiful pink, so pretty. Thanks to my friend Holly Burns who lent me that. This is Blick Matte Acrylic. Love this paint. It's really inexpensive and it's overall a very good paint, if you ask me. Dependable. Once in a while, you'll get a bottle that starts to smell. Chuck it, because that means it went bad. But 9 out of 10 times that doesn't happen, but it happens sometimes. I found that this paint does tend to go rancid quicker than my other paints, or smells, I should say. So at least you know, like, when it goes bad, you know because it smells. But I still think it's a great deal. That does not stop me from buying it. It is still a total go-to for me. Most of the time that doesn't happen. It's great stuff. Very nicely opaque. Good color selection. You get a lot for your money. It's like really cheap for these. If you get these on sale, I'm going to go today, I think, and pick some paint up. And I think they're on sale right now. So it's really good. I tend to like to use fluid paint for this because it's just, I don't have to thin it out. Thinning paint out if you're using a lot of paint, if you're doing something primarily painting it, like something like this, like where you're doing where you need, you're doing it sheer or you're doing detail, you're going to be doing detail. It's just easier to use a fluid because you don't have to thin it out. Thinning it out can be such a drag if you're doing a lot of paint. This is one of my favorite colors. Sap green hue, golden. It's transparent. It's not opaque. It's lovely. If you can see, they always have golden paints. Always have a little stripe, a black stripes right here, and then they put the paint over it for you, so you can see the level of transparency. So this one it's semi-transparent, but it depends on how much you thin it, because there's no white in it. There's no white in the base, so it's really nice. I love this paint. Yeah, so I use a mix of them. You can use like a Deco Art. You can use a Martha Stewart. You can use whatever you want. Whatever you have. You don't even have to use paint. You can just use paint pen if you want. Or you can use whatever you want. I'm just drinking some coffee while we talk here. Yeah. So that's the basics. But then I have a couple fun toys that I really want to break in my toys, and I have super ideas for using my toys with these ornaments. This is a wood burner. They call it a Versa Tool. Okay, I don't actually know what this thing is. I know it burns wood, and that is why I bought it. But apparently it does other things as well, maybe? I don't know. Hot tool featuring variable temperature control. Comes with a stand. Comes with a storage case. 11 interchangeable points. I think it's a wood burner. That's why I bought it. I don't know what this little hot knife point. But I've never had one of these, you guys. I've never had one of these, and I may have tried it at some point, but I don't remember. So it did not even blip on my radar. But I think I like to try anything that lets me draw because because I'm a drawing fanatic. So I'm really excited to try this, to use it, and I have ideas of how I want to use it with paint for these ornaments. We'll see if we get there. I need some playtime. I need some experimentation time to try this stuff out. So we'll see about that. We'll see. And then I also purchased, this is also a total gift to myself. I bought this one. Okay, sorry. Let me back up. I bought this in May. I have the receipt because I wasn't sure. I bought it on a whim in May. I was like, do I want this? I want this. So I went to Blick and I'm like, I want this. And I bought it May 16th. Have not opened this. We're going to open this. I'm going to use this thing. You know, it's time. It's time. This I just bought because I've wanted a Dremel. I've been curious about a Dremel for years and years and years. Years and years and years. Never bought it, never bought it. Finally bought it. I also bought the piece that allows you to draw with it in a more natural fashion. It's got an extension thing. So I got one of those. And of course, a protective mask. So I also got masks, so. Because this is a little heavier duty. I don't know how much smoke this thing is going to make. The wood burner. I don't know. We're going to find out. I'll report back. This makes wood shavings. So I got to be prepared for that. And I got to wear protective gear, rather. So I'll do that. But so that's the kind of stuff I'm going to be doing. And I probably won't be doing a lot of that stuff on our lives because it's loud. I think it's going to be loud. I think it's going to be a little messy. And, you know, potentially just too tricky to do on live for an extended period of time. So I will be doing, I'm thinking, because what I would be doing now if I didn't, I haven't even opened those yet, and who knows if I actually will, but I would like to. But I'm going to be painting ornaments. So come paint ornaments with me in December. And here is what we have right now. So every day we will have a different, every day is a different prompt, but you do whatever you like. You don't have to follow my prompts, obviously. Do whatever you like. And you can do whatever, like you can do a book, you can do a author, you could do a musician or a band, you could do a song, you know, Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You. I mean, I'm going to be doing ornaments to sell at an art market in a couple of weeks. And so, you know, I'll be making a lot of different designs that hopefully will resonate with a lot of people. So here we go. So that's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing, and I hope that you're going to join me. So come join me in December for some ornament art-along time in my lives, which brings up another little detail that I want to talk to you guys about. I'm going to be changing up my schedule for December, and I mentioned it in earlier lives that I'm switching to fewer days per week, and I am going to have the schedule up tomorrow for live streams, and I think I'm going to Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the month of December. And then the last week of December, I am going to be off on away, like not here, not on live, because it's just too busy and there's just too much going on for me. So then I will be back, like, I think I'll be back the 31st of December, but that's the plan. So the schedule will be up tomorrow. At some point tomorrow, I'll have the prompt schedule done. And I love being on here, like even 5 days a week, but I think very recently I have been very busy and sleep deprived. So I need to get some sleep. And also, besides the sleep stuff, which if I wasn't so busy with other stuff, then it wouldn't be such a deal. But I have a lot coming up in December in terms of like things that I am committed to doing. So I gotta rejigger my schedule a bit for that. So I hope you understand, and thank you for still being here and hanging out with me and coming to my lives, because it's, oh, I'm gonna try and fix this. There's, oh, my hands in the way. That's what it was. Because yeah, because it's kind of different to go from every day to, you know, every day to fewer days a week. But lately it's been a lot because I have been very busy, and then I have been having to cancel some lives, and I don't like to do that because, you know, it's a commitment for me. I want to be here, but if I'm not getting enough sleep, and if I'm just like doing too many other things in real life stuff, it's like a little overwhelming. So okay, we're gonna draw. This is a cover of a first edition of Du Maurier's book Trilby, and this is the book that is his most popular book. His most popular book that he's ever made. Where's my sketchbook? I don't know where my pen and ink sketchbook is. How funny. Yeah, so there it is. So we're gonna draw this. No, we're not gonna draw this. We're gonna draw, wait a minute. I'll show you what we're gonna draw. We're gonna draw her. And here's the cover of the book. And I just wanted to show it to you because it wasn't on the screen. It wasn't in the slideshow. And also, he probably didn't design this. I mean, I don't know that he was a book cover designer. And I know that, you know, designers are not, sometimes illustrators can be designers, but designers are not always illustrators. So this is just such a beautiful design. I just had to show it to you because look, you got the wings, you get the spider web, you have the wings, and then you have the heart, and then you have this, a little palette, art palette, a book, roses, flowers, ribbon. I love the use of symbolism and the overall like decorative, and then the symmetrical decorative design here. It's so beautiful. I love the lettering. It's just fabulous. It's really, really fabulous, and I just wanted to show it to you. So let's go. Oh, here's the, let's just keep looking. Oh, it's stars. I love stars. I love stars as a decorative element. So, you know, the book design is fantastic. This cover is in really rough shape, but it's really cool to see like a first edition, right? Look at that. Let's turn the light off for a second. Turn the light off for a second. I don't know if that's gonna make things easier to see. Okay, our light's up all the way. Yeah, it's really cool. Really, really cool book. Look at that. I mean, yum, right? Delicious. Let me eat that up. That's a better quality version. Look at how it's like impressed. Gold emboss or deboss. Debossed in gold ink or gold leaf or something. And then here is the picture we're going to draw. And I'm really going to take some liberties with this. It's an homage piece. It will have his name in it. I'm going to put, it was Trilby. If you ask me now, I don't know. Going down the road, we'll see what I end up doing. I thought I might do Trilby. Just looking at it and looking at the design of her, I'm thinking like Trilby here. And then maybe it was Trilby down here and then his name or something. Anyway, that's what we're doing. And I have that picture in my photos. So there we go. We got her right there. So let's go. Let's do this. Let's do this. I counted my number of pages left in this sketchbook yesterday. I think it's 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. Oh, we did this yesterday. Oh, I put on my big overhead light. Okay, that's good. Now we can see. All right, let's draw. Let's get this going here. Let's get it going. Oh no, I skipped yesterday. Did I skip yesterday? Yesterday was the 27th. Today's the 29th. I did skip yesterday. Oh my gosh, you guys. The days are just like... The days are just... They're going like so fast right now. I was so exhausted yesterday. Oh my god. I can't even tell you. Let's not talk about it. Oh my god. So tired. So tired. So tired. Okay. Let's do this first. Let's do that. Okay, I think that's best right there. She's really, really tall. And she has a little, her head is little. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm just going to fix the picture. It looks like... There we go. I accidentally had it cropped to a level that was not good. Was not working. Bat, what's going on down there? Okay. All right, let's do this. Let's actually, I'm gonna elevate my page a little bit before we start. Okay, there we go. I'm going to turn off my mic for a little bit, but if anybody chats, I will turn it back on and chat, okay? I just want to make a quick note about her eyes. One of the eyes is... I just want to make a quick note about her eyes. One of the eyes is lower. Sorry. One of her eyes is lower than the other one. And I did that on purpose because I don't know the story, and it's possible that that is a part of the story. I don't know. It could be like a little, you know, it could be important to the story because it's clearly, it's very visibly noticeable. So that's why that's why I did that. That's why I didn't, you know, take any creative liberties with that, because I feel like it might be this plot point, you know? I don't know. I do not know. I have not read this. So that's it. Ta-da! Okay, done, done, done. So this is a tribute to George. Whoops. Okay. Sorry, guys. Done, done, done. Sorry. So there we go. I don't like to hear myself. I just like to make sure. I like to listen to the music with you guys when I'm on silent. But you know, I don't need to hear myself talk or anything. So this is a tribute to George du Maurier and his most popular work of, you know, of fiction, his novel Trilby, which he drew the art for. And this is a tribute to him, and also a tribute to the cover and the art that he did for the book, because I used this also as my inspo, in addition to the picture of the lady that you see in the corner, which is one of the illustrations in the book. And we have the book on this side. See how in this picture there's a book on one side, and then on the other side there's a artist palette, and there's a spider, and there's also some little bows and things, and that's what we did here. So that's what we got going on. And also the color is also in keeping. I pulled out the gold pen at the last minute, so yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. I think I'm going to take tomorrow off and then start fresh on December 1st with our ornament draw along, paint along, etc. Yeah, because I think I've been needing a little extra time, and I need to sleep is what I need to do. I've had a very active last portion of this month, and I need to recharge, basically. So I'm going to take tomorrow to do that, and then I'm going to come back on Monday with the ornament art along, and I'm so excited about it. So come do ornaments with me in December. And if you're curious as to what I will be using to create the ornaments, you can check out the earlier part of the second half of this stream, the part where we're at the art table, and I go through the things that I'm going to be pulling out this month to draw with, or for the next few weeks anyway. And yeah, so that's the scoop. So I hope to see you on Monday, December 1st. If I do come tomorrow, I may come tomorrow because I love to stream for you guys and with you guys. So it's important to me. I just happen to be very exhausted right now. So like low energy, which I don't want to be bringing that to the table, you know, on my streams. I want to be, you know, full of, you know, vigor and energy. And you know, I've been struggling the past few days, so that's the scoop with that. But I love to come on here, so it's hard to not come on. But I feel like for my own taking care of myself, I should probably skip tomorrow. So anyway, this is between me and my own self-talk, and I just happen to be doing it in public. So I may or may not be here tomorrow. I'm leaning towards no right now, just because I need to rest and I need to prepare for December. So, but we could have a surprise. We could have a surprise appearance. Who knows? A surprise stream. So, with that, I will say have a great day. Have a great rest of your November. And I will put on the post tab the prompt list for December. I'll put that on tomorrow. And today I'm going to post, I'll probably post whether or not I will be here tomorrow today on the post tab later on, like tonight at some point. I'll probably make my decision then. Okay, so I hope you have a great day, and I will see you either tomorrow or on Monday for Ornament Art Along. Okay, bye.